Hello and welcome to the weekly rundown. My name is Paul Hadfield, and with me as always is Margaux Murray, and this is episode 19. We need a number tracker that we can just pull the chart. In the show, we like to talk about things going on in the world. Sometimes it's business, but now we're going to go off topic a little bit and just talk about things that are happening in the world that spark our interest.
We are. So if you've watched the show previously, it has been on our company page, and we try to keep it business focused. Does it always go there? I don't know. But now it is going to be our show, our thing on our channels. So you know what? You might get some fun news too.
You never know.
You never know.
It's all going to be random.
Do you want to start this time?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous because you asked me 3 times if my topics are serious. So I feel like yours aren't serious, and I'm a little nervous about what direction it's going to go. But You know what? Let's roll.
I just wanted to have fun with it today. We'll see.
Let's do that. All right. So, topic 1.
Yeah.
This caught my attention. So more home sellers are apparently using their security cameras to spy on buyers during showings.
Wait, I've seen TikToks of that.
Have you?
Yeah, because I follow this real estate agent that talks about that, and they're like, you don't say anything till you leave.
Yeah. Well, so 9.4 million homes nationwide now have some sort of Wi-Fi enabled camera on site. And in 2020 alone, Americans bought a whopping 8 million video doorbells, and another 53% of households have a smart speaker that they can listen in on conversations throughout the house using just their smartphone.
That's so sus.
So, yeah, didn't even think about that. And then the article, this was in Money Magazine, by the way, but the article goes on to say, is this actually legal? And the bottom line is no. But who would really know, right? That's the point that they're making, is you could do it and nobody's really going to know. It's not really legal to do it. It depends on the state. I mean, the point, who even cares if it's legal? You shouldn't be doing it. But I think to your point, if you're going in and you're viewing a house,
don't say anything till you get in the car.
Homes are getting very smart now, and they can see you and hear you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a Ray Bradbury short story about that. Smart homes.
Maybe, but on the flip side, if you think the person is listening, is there something that you could say to entice them to like you so that your offer is
Good
picked?
point. Subtle manipulation there. Oh, wow.
What if you use it to your advantage?
This painting is beautiful. It's like their kids' finger painting on the fridge.
Yeah. Yeah, the best thing about this house? Everything. I wouldn't touch a thing. It's perfect.
You know what? I just wish we could get it for $10,000 cheaper. If it was $10,000, I'm good.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy. Okay. So, as of 1 p.m. Eastern Time today, there has been 10 inches of snow reported at the Frederick Douglass Greater Rochester International Airport, and 17.8 inches in Buffalo, New York. And I've never been happier to be living in Southern California than this moment. And I had to add this into our little thing because I know you're from Minnesota. You're no stranger to winter.
That's right.
And you know what? It drizzled today.
Did it? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, that was our tiny bit of weather.
Yeah. So I've been out here for 4 years. You've been out here for a little over a year?
Yeah, a little over a year.
And I don't know if you're at this point yet. I don't know when I hit this point, but once you start getting a little bit of weather in Southern California, you complain about it. I thought it was ridiculous when I moved here, people complained about it, but now I'm falling in that boat because you rely in Southern California so much on it just being nice all the time, not having to check the weather app, not having to put on a coat, and then when you're thrown off at all, it ruins your life. But people out here are soft because that's real weather.
It is, and I saw today there was a video of all the street parking. There was all these cars on one side, and they had to go shovel out their car because at 7 o'clock at night you have to switch to the other side.
Yeah.
And that side had 3 feet of snow, so there was nowhere to park whatsoever. I don't miss the winters.
No. Oh, wow, I'm shocked. Wow, you're really coming around to the Southern California stuff here. What's
That's
going
my
on?
one step. It's my one step.
My family and I was in Nashville 2 weeks ago, and supposedly snows there like 5 inches per year. We got 6 inches the week that we were there, like a year's worth of snow in a week. But we weren't dressed for it. I didn't have the gloves and the hat and the boots, and the rental car had like a little ice pick in it. So I go out and I have to shovel all the snow off the car, and within a minute, the snow falls off the car into my boot. My sock is wet.
You're
No, I don't miss it at all. I don't miss it at all. It was nice to see the snow, but
yeah.
As my 6-year-old says, she loves the snow. She just wishes it were warm.
Oh,
warm snow. I mean, I agree.
I agree.
Is it my turn?
Yeah,
my
it's
turn.
your turn.
Okay. So let's go with this. So food retailers and distributors say they're going to start increasing food prices even more in the coming months, and they say that it could be as high as 20% higher than it is today. Which is wild because it continues to go up and up and up. And most people are saying that inflation is certainly not temporary. It's here to stay. We'll see where that goes, but things are getting more expensive, and I don't think we've seen the peak yet. However, I will go on record and say that I think we will see the peak this year.
Yeah, there will be a market correction for sure.
Yeah. Do you think stock market? Do you think home prices? Both?
I don't think home prices are going anywhere, unfortunately. I
Do you think they're going to stabilize?
I would hope so. I have hope for the real estate market, but I'm a little pessimistic. Like, I think people caught on to that idea of, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The stock market, I think things will have to correct. That's my only real opinion on it.
What about crypto? Crypto's constantly correcting.
Crypto gets hype and it goes up and down. I think volatile is the best word to describe it.
Yeah. I will say, since I've just started randomly predicting things, I will say that in the next 24 months, this is a bold prediction, 80% of the cryptocurrency coins in the market today will fail.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because people are rallying around these, it's like Doge and SHIB and, 80%, the real Fab 4, Fab 3, those coins, and maybe some stragglers that end up starting slow, but, learning from the mistakes of others are going to be what stays. And yeah. So Tesla is turning to Mozambique for a key component in its electric car batteries. And it is what analysts believe is a first-of-its-kind deal designed to reduce its dependence on China for graphite. I just think that's interesting. I don't really have a big opinion on it, but I think it's interesting. I know we rely on China for a lot of products and a lot of things, so and I don't know that all of it's always ethical. Yeah.
Very smart on their part. I mean, if you can cut out dependence on any company or person for anything, I mean, you are less susceptible to risk, right? Because then you own all the pieces.
Right.
I think that's an awesome idea. And, I've been reading some things recently where people are predicting like the downfall of Tesla, and I don't understand why that is. They're just so far ahead of other car companies right now.
Yeah, they are. I have watched some things about how they're put together, though, and they are kind of put together a little bit sloppy. They don't have good lines, and are you really a car guy?
I mean, I think you're more of a car girl than I am a car guy.
Okay. Well, like in any space that your car, like on your hood or any lines, should be straight and they should be even. Mm-hmm. But if you really go look at Teslas, they tend to not be even. They're just not aesthetically like how a car should be put together. And it kind of leads to that idea of it being put together kind of sloppy. Like the actual technology within it, great, but I think they're putting them together very fast.
Yeah, I remember reading stuff about that. I've seen some videos.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I know.
who knows?
I still want one. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's just this whole world of people that are trying
Anti-Tesla?
Yes, anti-Tesla.
Yeah.
But I think if you're anti-Tesla, aren't you just like anti the future? I mean, like this is where the world is going.
Well,
like,
apparently there's like some things that are bad about electric vehicles.
Sure.
I haven't looked into it, but you know what? Let's talk about it next week. I want to get into it a little bit more. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I just thought they were just green.
Yeah.
And I think that was a, misconception and lack of education on my part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to look at the electrical consumption. I mean, everybody's charging their vehicles, right? So now, what does it take to actually charge all these vehicles? And are you worse off doing that than using gasoline?
Right. Do you have another topic for me?
I do.
Okay.
Okay. So, I've got one more.
Okay. And I have one more.
This one, I don't even like this one, so let's just hit it, and we're just going to hit it and quit it.
I was going to say that. Okay. We're gonna
All right, supply chain woes could worsen as China imposes new COVID lockdowns. We weren't even going to talk about COVID, but it had to be said.
I did make that a specific rule.
You did make it a specific
But we'll allow
rule.
it.
Okay. It's more about the lockdowns.
Right.
Or more about the supply chain.
Okay.
So a lot of things come from China, and they have now this zero tolerance policy, which could throw a wrench into the global conveyor belt for goods this year. I think the supply chain woes in general have eased up a little bit. They're not as bad as they were.
I see less boats.
There's less boats. We used to see boats just
All
out
the
on the
time.
harbor, just
Yeah.
in lines, just chilling there.
Just waiting.
No longer the case. So, anyway, cross your fingers.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it, but hopefully that it works out and things can still operate. And on the off chance they don't, maybe that's an eye-opener that the world needs to be less dependent on China and ethically source where their goods and services
There
are
you go. You
coming
kind of
from.
like brought it back.
Yeah, I did. And now we're going to end this on a good note because the Buffalo Bills dominated the Patriots on Saturday in the NFL's first ever perfect offensive game. So every time they had the ball, they made a touchdown. It was amazing.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And they beat the Patriots.
And they beat the Patriots.
You know.
So they didn't face a single fourth down in the entire game, so they had no punts or field goals. They also held on to the ball when they had it, turning over the ball 0 times. And I also saw them intercept this pass in the end zone. And I don't even know who it was, but someone else caught it. A Bill caught it and not a Patriot. So that's all that matters in my book. So.
Are you going to predict a Super Bowl?
Of who's playing?
Yeah.
No, because I honestly don't know who else lost and won yesterday. I know what's next is the Chiefs against the Bills. This is a big deal because they played against each other last year.
The Chiefs won.
And the Chiefs won. I think the Bills are hungry. I think it's been 20 years, 25 years. How long has it been since they were in the Super Bowl? A long time. And we deserve it. Bills by $1 billion.
Bills by $1 billion. I will say it'll be a close game.
No, I'm sure it'll be close.
That game's gonna come. I'll give you a prediction.
Okay.
Wait, who's at home?
I think Chiefs. I don't know if Bills.
I'm gonna say
Bills
whoever's home wins this game,
Okay.
but not by much. Less than a touchdown.
Let me find out where they're playing. They're playing Chiefs at Chiefs, which last year I think they did too.
I think it's pretty high scoring. I'm thinking it's like you're talking 34-31, something like that. Chiefs with the win.
I think
hate to say
the
it. They're at
Bills
home.
deserve it though. Come on.
I know, but the home team's going to have the advantage. It's the only thing that's going to have the advantage in that game. They're both hot right now.
Yeah. Okay. You want to wrap it up?
Why don't you wrap it up this time?
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Weekly Rundown. We will see you next week for more news, fun news, news that's not COVID related. I hate when I do it. You do it way better.
More fun
More fun
Fun
news.
food news.
Well, Can you wrap it up good?
Okay, thank you for joining us. Visit us again next week when we talk more about the business world, the fun world, the food world.
Yeah.
Who knows what kind of world, whatever we think of.